Hello everyone and welcome back for another sit down video. Today I have the honor of being joined by yet another very special guest, Izzy. She is a local influencer and content creator who has just started working with our clinic, and we're so excited to have her on board. So I'll let her introduce herself. Do you like to be called, what's the title that you like to go by? I never know how to introduce people who work in the digital space.
I feel like I usually say content creator.
Content creator?
Because influencer is taboo.
I know, it has a little bit of a negative connotation towards it. Okay, so local content creator.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And she's been working with our clinic for a little while now, so we thought that we would do this sit down video to talk about her experience and some of the things that she's gone through. And she actually just made the decision to recently go full-time with her content creation. So talk to me about that, because I'm so interested how you turned a side hustle into a full-time thing. I think that that's so cool.
It started as a hobby, honestly. Probably 3 years ago, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved fashion, I've always loved photography. So then I just started taking photos and outfits, and then it became, I started to monetize it on the side, and I kind of thought that was cool and fun. And then last year it became pretty much a full-time salary kind of thing on top of my full-time job. So I was so busy, and it was kind of okay, I think I'm ready to take this full-time. So then in December, I thought it was just kind of a good time to take the plunge, and thought, you know what, fresh start January, I will just go full-time, and that will be my thing. So I did it. I cut the cord with my full-time job, and I've never been happier. And
so far it's going so well. I follow you on Instagram, so I see all the things that you're up to. She's traveling crazy nonstop.
Way too much.
It's hard to even get her in the clinic because she's always on the go. But she started her journey with us a couple of months ago, and she's been doing the Emsculpt Neo treatment. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who aren't familiar, the Emsculpt is one of the newest additions that we have here at the clinic, and it is a body sculpting and contouring treatment. It can treat a whole different range of body parts. Most commonly is the abs, which is what Izzy did.
That's what I did.
Yeah. But it can also treat areas such as the butt, the arms, the legs, front and back, the calves. So pretty much any area that you want to tone up and tighten, the Emsculpt can do that. I'll speak a little bit of the science behind it before we get Izzy to talk about her experience. But the Emsculpt is basically a 2-in-1 treatment. So it uses radio frequency as well as high-fem technology, which stands for high intensity focus electromagnetic energy. And so to speak about the radio frequency portion, that is that when the Emsculpt heats up to a temperature of 42 degrees, which is the perfect temperature to start burning fat. So that's one of the things that it does. The RF definitely kills and permanently destroys fat cells in the body forever. So when you were doing the treatment, did you notice that the applicator on your stomach was heating up a little bit?
Yeah, it was warm, but not uncomfortably.
Yeah, and that's what everyone says too, because at the 42 degrees, it melts fat, but it doesn't burn the skin. So it's a very fine line.
It was fine. And I noticed sometimes I would have sweat from it, but that's kind of satisfying.
It is satisfying because you know that it's working and that it's doing a good job. So yeah, the radio frequency burns the fat, and yeah, she did notice that she was sweating a little bit after the treatment, but I mean that just goes to show that it's really working. Mm-hmm. And then those fat cells are permanently destroyed through the body's lymphatic system, and it does take a little bit of time for those fat cells to be processed by the body, which is why it normally takes about 2 to 3 months for the full results to show effect. Mm-hmm. And I think that we're pretty much coming up to, are we at the 2-month mark for you? Yeah, so she's finished her 4th treatment a couple of months ago. Yeah. And that's the other really important thing to note too. We never recommend really doing any less than 4 treatments. We always sell them in packages of 4, because that is when you're going to notice the best results possible. So Izzy did her full treatment course, and how was it?
I noticed results way faster than 2 months. I feel
True.
I had already, remember we did my measurements, and after the 2nd treatment, I'd already lost an inch off my waist. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously combined with diet and exercise as well, because I kind of came back from 3 months of sort of vacation mode, and I needed to tune it up. But this was the perfect way to do that, in combination with getting back into a good like workout routine and eating healthier.
That is such a good point too, because I don't want people to get the misconception that the Emsculpt Neo is like an end-all be-all treatment that's gonna like, that's just gonna magically like transform your body. You do have to put a little bit of work in yourself as well. So Izzy does do a very good job of exercising regularly and maintaining a healthy diet. I always see you posting on your story exercising early in the morning, far before I'm even awake. But yeah, so she really took advantage of the treatment by supplementing it with those healthy habits, which is why she's seen such good results. So what did we say? You lost?
It was like 2 inches
off of your waist
after the 4th treatment, which is insane.
And she hasn't even hit the 3-month mark yet where she's going to see the optimal results.
I'm excited to see my measurements after that, because maybe it's different, I don't know.
Maybe it's changed, And do you notice that your body is a little bit more like toned and defined? Because that's the second part of the treatment. So we talked about the radio frequency, which one more thing that I will add to, the radio frequency is very popular amongst other treatments that we do at the clinic here as well, because it tightens the skin as well, which is just like a really nice added feature when you're toning an area. The skin gets really tight too, because sometimes when people lose weight, you notice that there's a little bit of like excess extra skin afterwards that sort of lingers around as a result of the weight loss, but radio frequency does a good job of keeping the skin super tight and firm.
That's cool, I didn't know that actually.
Yes, and then the second portion is the high fem, and that is what was the actual like muscles contracting. So I'll let Izzy even talk about it, because you can, the really nice thing about the Emsculpt is that you can actually really feel it working. The high fem is what tones and firms the muscles and really forces them to like work out. Each treatment is equivalent of like 20,000 sit-ups. And I'll let Izzy talk about it, because I know that she was a little bit like, she was a little bit slower with her course, because the other nice thing about this treatment is that it's fully customizable. You can increase the intensity based on the patient's needs or desire. And Izzy started off a little bit on the lower end and gradually worked her way up. But her first couple treatments, she didn't even make it to 100% because the muscle contractions were quite strong for her.
Yeah, they were intense. Yeah, it's such a weird feeling when you're not used to it, of like your whole stomach like contracting, but then it gets more satisfying the more you get used to it. I think I started at like 60% the first treatment.
Yeah, I think you made it up to about 60% the first time.
And then it was like 80, 90, and then 100. Or no, maybe it was 100 for the last 2.
Yeah, I remember you telling me on the 3rd treatment, like you made it to 100 like towards the end. And then for her final treatment, we definitely worked her way all the way up to 100.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like I was tired after, like my abs were sore. Like it feels like you've done a workout, so it's really satisfying because you can tell it's working, because you're actually sore after, as if you've just gone to the gym and done like a core workout. So I would notice it like later that day or even like the next day that I was sore and my core felt tired, but it's like really satisfying.
And I mean, when you do 20,000 sit-ups, of course you're gonna feel a little bit of pain afterwards too, but a lot of that actually is subsidized too, because there's a lactic acid component of the treatment too, which sort of like absorbs a lot of that like muscle fatigue and strain that you feel. So although sometimes the next day you do feel a little bit sore, it's nothing near how bad it like could be.
Oh, totally. It's just like a satisfying sore, not a painful one.
Well, yeah, and it's like a no downtime treatment too, so you can like resume all of your normal activities immediately after. It's only a 30-minute treatment, so some people some people even come in on their lunch breaks to do it, because it's only 30 minutes. There's no downtime, like no bruising, nothing. And if you are watching this video shortly after it's been posted, then now is actually the best time to do an Emsculpt treatment, because like we said earlier, it does take a couple of months for full results to show.
And we're coming into summer.
And yeah, summer is quickly approaching and we all want to be ready for the beach. So this is the optimal time to start doing your treatment. Izzy even has a very special event that is coming up very soon. Do you want to quickly talk about that?
I'm finally getting married after being engaged for like a zillion years, but yeah, I'm getting married in September, so this was like even more exciting for me to start doing these treatments when I did, because it's like the perfect time frame before like a big event such as my wedding.
Yeah, she timed it quite well, because her wedding is in September and the results of the treatment do last well over a year, So she did hers definitely far enough in advance where she's gonna see the full results after the 3 months. And of course, weddings are a very special time in one's life, so she's definitely gonna have her optimal results for that. And speaking of weddings, we do actually have some bridal packages that we've recently put together since wedding season is among us. And the Emsculpt is included in a lot of those packages. So we here at Anti-Aging always preach and talk about the importance of combination treatments. So like we were talking about the bridal packages, if you aren't necessarily a good candidate for the Emsculpt Neo, we do have lots of alternatives when it comes to body contouring, one of the most popular ones being the cool sculpting. So there's definitely something for everyone to take advantage of. And Izzy, of course, was a really good candidate for the Emsculpt. Because the difference between cool sculpting and Emsculpting is that Emsculpt really goes in and tones and tightens the muscles and really defines them. Whereas cool sculpting is more used for people who need to debulk, maybe have a little bit of excess fat on their body that they first need to take care of before they can go in with the Emsculpt and then tone. But the Emsculpt is really good for people who are, first of all, have a BMI under 35, which of course you do.
Oh God, I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I know you were saying that you don't really like to weigh yourself.
No,
oh my
I
gosh,
don't
honestly,
really do
me
that.
neither. Triggering. But I know for a fact your BMI is definitely under 35, and it's for people who are like within a close proximity to their ideal weight. So that's for the Emsculpt. The cool sculpting is, like I said, for people who carry a little bit of excess weight and they need to debulk. And so the cool sculpting doesn't tone the muscles, but it just eliminates fat cells.
Right.
And it can target much bigger surface areas, which is why we always recommend combo treatments. So starting with the cool sculpting always, if you're a candidate for it, and then following it up with the Emsculpt. And Izzy was a perfect candidate for the Emsculpt because, like we said, she lives a healthy lifestyle. She just wanted to like tone and tighten a little bit around her stomach area, which we were successfully able to do. But if you want to take advantage of our bridal packages, then definitely look into those. We're going to be posting about them very shortly. And just know that cool sculpting is an option in there for you as well.
Cool.
And the Emsculpt is a really good treatment, not only for its aesthetic purposes, but there are also a lot of functional reasons why people can use it as well. Izzy, you work out a lot, but a lot of physiotherapists, chiropractors, even professional athletes have given endorsements for the Emsculpt because when you target an isolated area, such as like we did with her abs, obviously her core is going to strengthen so much over the course of those 4 treatments. She's going to notice better posture, increased core strength, and the Emsculpt can even help repair tissue damage as well in certain areas too, which has been proven to do. So it's not all about the aesthetics purposes as well. There are definitely functional aspects to it. And I'm curious to know if you've noticed a difference when you like work out or do a physical activity, if you notice like the extra core strength and if it helps you.
Yeah, I think so. Especially like right after the treatments, like noticing that my core was sore and then doing other core exercises after, I noticed like that it had definitely been worked, but it definitely, I would say it feels stronger now for sure, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I know that I've done the Emsculpt as well too, and I've like, for the longest time suffered with lower back pain because I actually have lordosis, which is like irregular curvature of the lower back. And I noticed when I did the Emsculpt on my abs too, my posture definitely got better and I woke up with like less back pain than I've done in the past. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I know, so there definitely is a lot of benefits to the treatment. And even though Izzy did the 4, you can come in and do like follow-up appointments too, just sort of like maintenance, maybe once every half a year.
Okay.
So I don't know. I know that we briefly talked about maybe you'll come in and do one more before your wedding just to get you super cinched and tight. But other than that, yeah, the treatment plan is pretty comprehensive. And results are long lasting.
So we actually have an exciting announcement to make. We're going to be doing a giveaway together, and we're going to be giving away $1,000 towards Emsculpting treatments, which is exciting and awesome because I'm hopefully you guys want to try it as much as I enjoyed it. So we're going to be giving that away, which is pretty much the equivalent of like one full treatment, right?
Yeah, one full session, and we're going to be doing that sometime in April.
Yes.
So make sure you definitely stay tuned and look up for that. Of course, we'll announce it all over our social media platforms. And yeah, to speak about pricing, like I said earlier, the Emsculpt is always sold in packages of 4 for optimal results. And when you do buy a package, the cost of the treatment goes down.
Okay.
So the giveaway that we're doing in partnership with one another, the $1,000 that goes towards an Emsculpt package will more than cover one of the treatments. So you're getting more than 25% off. And even if you choose not to go through with the whole package afterwards, that's totally okay too. You can come in and just do the one session.
You'll want to do the full package.
Yeah, you are going to want to do the full package, sure, especially after you start to notice like a little bit of like the results. It gets rather addicting. And yeah, like we said, there's opportunity for so many people to do it because it's not just limited to your abdomen. You can treat almost all areas of your body with the exception of your back. So I mean, like we said, with summer coming up and around the corner, now is definitely the best time to look into this.
So make sure you're following both of us on Instagram so that you don't miss any giveaway details. That'll be coming, like we said, towards the end of April.
Yeah.
And all the contest details will be posted via social media, so don't miss it.
And just to end things off, if anyone is interested in any of the treatments, products, or services that we do offer here at Anti-Aging Medical and Laser Clinic, then you can get in contact with us. I'll have all of the information linked down below, and I'll also have it appear magically on the screen. We are a full service clinic that does skincare, body treatments, lasers, facials. Everything that we do is medical grade and tested. So if you're interested, get in contact, and we look forward to seeing you soon.